President Joe Biden is set to deliver a farewell address to the nation next Wednesday from the Oval Office, marking the culmination of his decades-long political career. This address will be a significant moment in American history, as Biden reflects on his tenure as president and shares his vision for the country's future. Historically, farewell addresses have served as a platform for presidents to highlight their proudest achievements and share their perspectives on the state of the nation. Biden's address will follow this tradition, focusing on his legacy of leadership, accomplishments during his presidency, and a hopeful message for the road ahead. Biden's farewell address is expected to include a message of unity, urging Americans to work together for a stronger future. This message is particularly significant, given the transition of power to President-elect Donald Trump. Some notable past farewell addresses include those by President Barack Obama, who encouraged Americans to believe in ourselves and in the power of democracy. Senator Tammy Duckworth has strongly criticized Pete Hegseth's nomination for Secretary of Defense, calling him dangerously unqualified for the role. As a combat veteran and member of the Senate Armed Services Committee, Duckworth questioned Hegseth's ability to oversee the Department of Defense's massive budget and personnel. Duckworth compared Hegseth's qualifications to those of a restaurant manager, highlighting his lack of experience in managing large budgets and personnel. She emphasized that the Secretary of Defense role requires strong leadership and management skills, which Hegseth seems to lack. Hegseth's nomination has sparked concerns among lawmakers and experts, who argue that he lacks the necessary experience and qualifications for the role. As a former Army National Guard infantry officer, Hegseth has some military experience, but his post-military career as a media commentator and nonprofit executive does not equip him to handle the complexities of defense policy and operations. Hegseth is set to face tough questions at his Senate confirmation hearing, where lawmakers will examine his qualifications and experience. A new bill introduced by Republican Representative Glenn Grothman seeks to end student loan forgiveness efforts in the U.S. Grothman argues that taxpayers should not bear the burden of forgiving loans that individuals willingly agreed to repay, citing fiscal responsibility. This development comes as the Biden administration's efforts to alleviate student debt face significant challenges, with Republicans consistently opposing loan forgiveness measures. The future of Biden's initiatives appears increasingly uncertain, especially with Republicans taking control of the House, Senate, and White House under President-elect Donald Trump. The proposed bill has sparked concerns among student loan borrowers, who argue that forgiveness is essential for easing the financial burden of education. Many borrowers have shared their struggles with debt, highlighting the need for relief. As debates continue, the fate of student loan forgiveness hangs in the balance, with millions of borrowers anxiously watching what happens next on Capitol Hill. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has endorsed David Hogg for vice chair of the Democratic National Committee (DNC), citing Hogg's bold and courageous leadership. Hogg, a survivor of the Parkland school shooting and co-founder of March for Our Lives, has gained traction among key Democratic leaders for his progressive vision. Walz praised Hogg's ability to connect with people across the country and his commitment to shared democratic values, making him an ideal candidate for the role. Hogg expressed gratitude for Walz's support, emphasizing his dedication to building a movement that takes bold action to win. This endorsement is a significant boost to Hogg's campaign, as Governor Walz is a well-respected figure within the Democratic Party. Hogg's candidacy has also received endorsements from Representative Maxwell Frost and other progressive leaders, solidifying his influence within the party. As the race for DNC vice chair intensifies, Hogg's campaign continues to gain momentum, signaling a shift toward new generation leadership in the Democratic Party. Donald Trump's felony conviction for falsifying business records in the New York hush money case has made history, marking him as the first president-elect with a felony conviction. Despite the conviction, Trump received an unconditional discharge, meaning no jail time, fines, or community service. Regarding Trump's voting rights, Florida law allows most felons to vote after completing their sentence. However, since Trump was convicted in New York, his eligibility also depends on New York's laws, which restore voting rights after release from incarceration. The conviction may have other implications for Trump, such as potential restrictions on international travel or holding specific licenses. Nevertheless, Trump's conviction does not legally prohibit him from serving as president. It's worth noting that Trump's legal team has attempted to have the conviction dismissed, citing presidential immunity. However, a Manhattan judge rejected this claim, stating that not everything a president does is official. The United States has announced a $25 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, as he begins his third term in office. This move escalates international pressure on Maduro, who faces widespread criticism from the global community and Venezuelan opposition leaders for corruption and human rights abuses. The U.S. Department of Justice has labeled Maduro a key figure in drug trafficking and corruption, and rewards have also been announced for information on top Venezuelan officials, including $15 million for Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino and additional rewards for Interior Minister Diosdado Cabello. The UK has also joined in pressuring Maduro's regime, issuing sanctions on 15 high-ranking Venezuelan officials, including judges and military leaders. The EU has extended restrictive measures against Venezuela, citing the lack of progress, leading to the restoration of democracy and the rule of law. The international community's actions are seen as a coordinated effort to hold the Maduro regime accountable for its actions and support the Venezuelan people in their fight for democracy and justice.